All right, welcome back. So, like I was saying, avoidant attachment styles. They maintain distance from their partners and they're emotionally unavailable. They still trust you enough to be in the relationship, but not enough to be super close to you. They'll tell you enough for you to know things, but not enough to like get super close. And with that being said, they prefer to be independent or rely on themselves. This would be considered an independent woman. Like, I want you to be with me, but I don't need you to be with me, but also keeping that distance. That being said, 25% of adults have this type of attachment styles. So that would be our second highest when it comes to attachment styles. And last, but certainly not least, there is disorganized attachment styles. Another name for it would be fearful avoidant. So there's avoidant and there's fearful avoidant. Two different things. Nowadays, we call it disorganized. They are a combination of anxious and avoidant, and which means that they crave attention, but they want to avoid attention all at the same time. Like, give me all your attention, but the second you give it to me, I don't want it anymore. Keep it away from me. They're also reluctant to develop a close relationship, but have a big need to be loved by others. So it's very complicated with them. So as of right now, since there's not a lot of research done on disorganized attachment styles, we currently do not have a percentage of people who are in this category. So if you're in this category, you are one of those rare people. And that's attachment styles, kids.
I love this. All four attachment styles.
Also, for the people watching at home, this is Jasper.
Hi, Jasper.
Just here. His is more of an anxious type of attachment style. He's fearing that I will leave him.
So I got you. Devon, first of all, thank you so much for the amazing statistics and the information.
You're welcome. That was a lot of words to put.
I know our listeners are very happy that we're having this live. I've been checking the chat. I want to know.
You're welcome, listeners. You're welcome.
Devon.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. But yes, my question for you, since you have anxious. Yes. It's just anxious, right?
Yeah, it's just anxious attachment style. Yeah. It's just called anxious style, yes. Whatever.
Yes, for your anxious attachment style, how do you navigate through that in your relationships? How do you overcome your anxiousness?
Oh God. Okay. Well, in the beginning, let's see. I'm trying to think, when did it start? In the beginning, I'm gonna assume before my diagnoses, it was very hard. I was constantly fearing that people were leaving me, people were going to leave me, which, I mean, realistically, the choices in boyfriends from age 18 on down, kind of questionable anyway. And they kind of gave me the sense that they were gonna leave me, and they did. But that's neither here nor there. That started my anxious attachment style. How I navigate it nowadays, it comes from that part of the style needing to be validated. Ever so often, I will ask my partner, hey, do you still want to be in this relationship? Is it going well? Is there anything we can change, or things of that nature? It's needless to say, anxious attachment style is it's not the worst attachment style. However, it is very difficult to live with. I'm trying to work through it through therapy. I'm trying to remind myself, okay, not everybody is leaving you. Not everybody is going to just up and leave. Because I mean, I had a bad situation in high school as well that did shape how my relationships are with friends specifically. So it is difficult. It's just a matter of reminding yourself, hey, they're not leaving. If they were going to leave, they would tell you. You would be able to tell that they're leaving. They wouldn't pour so much effort into you if they were leaving, that sort of thing. So it's just mental reminders that they're not going anywhere. And you don't need validation. Look at your degree. You literally have a degree. What more validation do you need? You got it.
I love this. And then, what about those who are not in school?
For this particular attachment style?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so taking school out of the equation. Let's say you are working or you're just living your life, hypothetically here. And you have friends, or you're not in a relationship and it's just your friends. It's just a matter of, you got to remind yourself, they're not going to leave. And if you are afraid of them trying to leave, my best advice would have a serious conversation with them. Approach it like an adult. Say, hey, I've been feeling this way for however long. Can we talk about it? Because I want to just affirm that we are both on the same page, or we are on the same page if it's a group of friends, and go from there. If you're in a relationship but you're not working, or you're not in school, same concept. In the end, when it comes to anxious styles, I would just have conversations with people rather than assume, because this attachment style is wholeheartedly based on assuming that somebody is going to leave you, even though that is not the case. So, first off, don't panic. Talk to your loved ones and go from there. You can't really go forward unless you know where you're standing.
I love it. Thank you, Devon.
You're welcome.
So now that everyone knows about boundaries and attachments and how.
Hold on now. I have a question.
What's your question?
You, sir, have a secure attachment style. How can the people that are watching this live get more like you?
I am so glad you asked, because that's exactly what I was about to say.
Tell me all about your boundaries and your attachment. You seem to be on the higher end. Tell me how we can get like you.
So being transparent. We are all human. We do not get it right immediately day one. I will tell you that it takes time. So how I maintain my healthy boundaries is, one, even though I love people, I have to put myself first. And putting myself first is not selfish. It is a necessity, because if I'm not in my right state of mind, or I don't have the mental space or the emotional space, I cannot be that best friend to Devon. I cannot be the CEO of the world. I cannot be that employee to UAB. I cannot be that coworker. So I have to make sure I'm charged up first, so that way I can continue being the Energizer Bunny, which is what I do best. So that's number one, and that is the hardest step, because it is naturally to just love people and give them our last and put ourselves on the back burner. And there are some times like that happens, but we have to remember to put ourselves first and love on us first. We cannot pour from an empty cup. Because if I am made of tea and I have all the tea for Devon, but I don't have nothing for me, and somebody else needs me, I cannot pour into them. I can't pour into myself.
I got your tea.
So yeah,
All the tea's with me, buddy.
because I used it all up. You must always have some for your you must always have some energy for yourself. What's called do the things that you want to do and such things. Do the things that make you happy. So number one is I put myself first, putting myself as a priority. The second one is acknowledging my flaws, my weaknesses, acknowledging my limits. And then after acknowledge, I like to one of my being transparent, one of my pain points is I love to be in control. But me knowing that I cannot control everything it's impossible. And honestly, me trying to control everything, that's more stressful. So acknowledging that limitation and communicating that limitation to everyone, like, hey, I want to let you all know that I have control issues and this is what I'm doing to work on it. So having that accountability and owning it as well. So when Devon's like, Xavian, you're being let's call it your control tendency is popping up, and I'm like, oh well, all right, let's redraw.
Xavian, pump the control brakes, buddy. Life is not meant to be controlled.
Yes. So acknowledging that. So as we go along, putting myself first, acknowledging the limitation, and owning the limitation, having that accountability partner, and then there's more, but I'll say this one, the fourth, which is the best, giving myself and others grace, because we don't get it right all the time. We be in our brains like we gotta get it right the first time. Devon has to get it right the first time. Like sometimes we don't get it right the first time.
Realistically, Devon gets it right maybe the third or fourth time. Most of the time, it's the fifth time.
Sometimes we get it right the seventh time. But the main goal is to not focus on perfection, but continue to focus on progress and strive for excellence. It's like we always tell other people. You always heard the saying, the race is not given to the swift, is given to those who endure. So constantly getting up, and you fell down, you made a mistake, dust it off, and continue advocating for yourself. Continue pushing past your limitation, working on it. And then also knowing being in tune with your emotions and values. So no one knows yourself like you. There are some people who know you, but you absolutely, positively know yourself, because it's you. No one knows you like you do. So knowing your values, listening to your emotions, having that self-respect, respecting others, and then most importantly, be assertive. We are not mind readers. No, if you have an issue and you need to set boundaries, have that hard conversation. And And I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it like it is. Those who respect your boundaries really love you, and they really respect you, and they really honor you. Those who don't those who don't honor your boundaries, they don't love you. Those are the people you pull away from. And and I'm not gonna lie, it will hurt because you will think that they love you. But if the person does not respect you as a person, your boundaries, your morals, or values, then they don't really love you. That's a slap in the face, because through thick and thin, and at the end of the day, real people who love you, whether it's your friends, your family, anyone who loves you, when they say, when you have boundaries and you actively and assertively express them, they will honor your boundaries. They will not overstep. They will not they will not overstep. They will not dismiss it. They will not get angry that you have boundaries. They will respect them. They will honor them. And for those, and also a nice fun fact that I'm pretty sure everyone knows, those who get mad that you have boundaries are two things. One, they're mad they can't control you and manipulate you. And then two, it shows they weren't really for you. You actually see how they are. And those are the ones you pull away from. And then as we wrap up, most importantly, practice positive affirmations. Because again, you are regardless of what color, race, sexual orientation, or faith affiliation, you are royalty. You have a crown. Wear it with pride. Wear it proudly on your head. That people should come and talk to you correctly with some common sense in class. What's up? You are royalty. You are loved. You deserve to be loved. There is no one like you. You are the head, not the tail. You are original and unique. People try so hard to mimic you, but it's impossible because you are wonderfully made by the best. And then last but not least, have a close circle of friends and loved ones that you trust. Having that support system really hits home, where you can have that safe space, where you can be vulnerable, where you can actually say, hey, I have this issue. Can you support me? And then of course, the support system will, well, how can we support you? How do you want to be supported? And things. So that is how I have healthy boundaries. I do practice affirmations. I always remind myself, I always remind myself and tell others that I am royalty. That is my go-to line. I put myself first, but still be respectful of others. And then most importantly, I just be honest and assertive. It's so hard to say no because we don't know how anyone will react, but best believe, say no for the first time. You will see who is really for you. So, Devon, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thoroughly, very thoroughly. But I like the answer though. Honestly, when it comes to any and everything, when it comes down to everything, I'm trying to find the words, self-respect, love yourself. If you don't love yourself, chances are you're going to be on the other side of the spectrum. When it comes to attachment styles, you're not going to be in that secure bubble here. You're not going to have secure boundaries. You're not going to have a secure attachment style. You're not going to have, healthy boundaries. Secure, healthy. Same thing. Anyhow, you're not going to have either of those things. You're probably going to be on the other spectrum, like where I am, porous. You're overpouring everything in hopes that people will care about you. Or, anxious attachment style. You're constantly afraid that people are going to abandon you. But at the end of the day, it's you, yourself, and I. Period. End of story. If you don't love the one and truly, the one that you're living in, the skin that you're living in, it's all downhill from there.
So what I think Devon means is, how can, if you don't love yourself and respect yourself, how can you expect others to respect you?
That's what I meant in the long-winded version.
So yes, I do want to, and again, we're telling you this because we love you, and it is not going to happen overnight, but it's all about taking the first step, being honest with yourself, being vulnerable with yourself, and then continue to keep striving, because you deserve it. You are amazing. You are royalty, and you deserve respect. So if you gotta put people on the back burner for now,
Do it.
That is fine, because
don't even think twice about it. Just do it.
That is fine, but healthy boundaries and secure attachment is the way to go. And for those who are curious on what their attachment style is, I have put the attachment style quiz down below in the chat. So definitely check it out. But we are out of time. We hope you have a wealthy Wednesday. Devon, you have any closing thoughts or affirmations for our audience?
Yes, I have both. I'm going to start with affirmations. Stay strong. Trust me, it gets better. Not all storms last forever. You might have a little bit of thunder, but at the very end, that makes the prettiest flowers. Also, I just wanted to mention about our team having this lovely thing called our journal. I wanted to just go ahead and throw that out as if we haven't already. Here's my copy of Just Be You. It is this lovely journal that you can find on Amazon. All you need to do is go to Amazon, search up Just Be You journal. It's one of the first few that will pop up. We have nothing important, but we have a lovely little letter type ordeal here from our beautiful CEO, Mr. Xavian Tate. Yes, beautiful. And at the very top of every page, almost every page, we have little affirmations like this one. It says, I am original. And other ones, I am fearless, and so on. And that is where you can put little affirmations or quotes that can help you. Mine typically is stay strong. That is my mental health word, strong. And yeah, just check it out. We can add it in here into our link, or we can drop it in the comment section. You name it. But yeah, thought I'd let everybody know we have a really cool journal, and you should totally check it out.
Awesome. And speaking of that, I have dropped it in the chat. So definitely check out Attachment Style, and also check out our Just Be You journal, because there is no one like you. No one can copy you. They can try and mimic you, but you're the only one who's original, and you are a work of art. So we love you. We thank God for you, and we will see you next time. Goodbye now. Bye.
Bye.